Okay, it's beer o'clock again on the Real Ale Guide. Today's beer is a beer from the brand, the Newcastle Brown Ale brand. It's by Heineken, but they've kind of added a couple of beers to their range. This is a limited edition, it says on the cap, and it is a bottle of their Newcastle Nocturnal, the Tawny Ale. Now, I picked this up in the supermarket because, well, liked the look of it for the start. I thought not had anything from this Newcastle range. Seen one or two reviews on YouTube. But the main reason that I read the back and is rye. It's a rye beer which is dark and kind of distinctively hoppy. So I'm hoping, let's be fair, you just got to give these things sometimes a go. I like the sound of it. Let's see if it matches up in the glass. Wouldn't this be nice if a big company like Heineken pulled off the kind of rye pale ale that a lot of us know and love in the beer world? I very much doubt it's a bulk edition beer, so I'm going to get all this beer in the glass. It's a one finger head. It's off-white, fluffy, nice amount of carbonation. The look of the beer is absolutely fantastic. It's a deep chestnut kind of mahogany colour. Nice levels of carbonation streaming up the side of the glass. It's a pretty beer. It's clear. Bright. I'm going to give it a nose, and you get, wow, from the nose anyway, you get this kind of nice red ale kind of nose. It's hoppy, it's a little bit CO2y. We can pick up the CO2 and the carbonation, but it's been force carbonated. But let's give it a go. Let's see if we can pick up some of this wonderful rye. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. If you've had the regular Newcastle Brown Ale, which I think this is based on it. This is based on Newcastle Brown Ale. So what you get from this is what I find with Newcastle Brown Ale. I find the stuff almost, let's be fair, it's bland. There's not much to it. There's nothing. I've not reviewed it on the channel. Perhaps I should. I should give it a fair review. But it's not my. You know, it's, for me, it's not my cup of tea. Newcastle Brown Ale. This is a little bit different. This is probably, dare I say it, how Newcastle Brown Ale used to taste. It's got a really nice malty backbone. It is fruity and hoppy up front in a traditional British way. It's British bittersweet. I'm really impressed with the malt. This is a real malt bomb. It's nice and like the chewy malt, that it's bready. It's nice and sweet on the back end. Yes, I'm very happy with the malt in this beer. I was afraid, if I'm honest. Like I say, I went into the review unbiased and kind of just giving it an honest review, but I was kind of hoping for good things, and fair play, it's not a bad beer. Some of you might have seen my reviews of American style pale ales with rye in. This is nothing like that at all. It's very traditional, very British kind of pale. I don't even think I can call it a pale ale. It's like a classic, pardon me, British best bitter. I want to talk about the carbonation. And that's because it gives off a little bit of that kind of CO2 in the mouth. It's kind of, you know it's CO2, you know it's been force carbonated. But again, I mean, a lot of beers are force carbonated. Mouthfeel, 4.5% ABV, you're looking at a sessionable mouthfeel. It's not bad. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Shepherd Neame's Bishop's Finger. It's that kind of, it's a little bit lighter I think than Bishop's Finger, but it's that kind of, you know it's been brewed on a big scale. And I think this is the thing with these big breweries, where they're so big, they're so large. When they commit to something, they really have got to commit big time, because they put in so many bags of malt and so many hops and so much rye and everything else in the beer, that they can't experiment too much. And I think you can taste that in the beer. It's definitely a session beer. It's got some nice flavours in. It's fruity to begin with, and it's really nice and sweet with a rye and malty. I could definitely drink a few of these, I really could. If I've seen this out, well, it's on offer in my local supermarket at the moment, so I'm probably going to pick up a few more of these. It's not bad at all. It's really not bad. If I'm honest, it surprised me. It has surprised me a little bit, this one, in a very good way. I'm quite pleased with this. Okay, Newcastle Nocturnal Ale, like a night owl. And Newcastle Nocturnal is the perfect partner to the season, where the clocks fall back and evenings draw in. This beer has a bittersweet taste, maybe much like your feelings towards the summer, pardon me, that we never had. Brewed with rye malt, it is a traditional Tawny style colouring, subtle malt undertones and a distinctive hop aroma. If I seen this out next to the regular Newcastle Brown Ale, I would go for this every time. It's quite a nice beer, quite a nice beer. You know it's been mass produced, you know it's been kind of, a lot of gallons of this have been made, but as long as they've made a lot of good beer out of a lot of the gallons they've made, then so be it. I know it's made by Heineken, but I think as long as the big boys, who, if they want to get into craft beer, as long as they produce beer at this kind of standard, I think they're going to do okay. I'm pretty kind of happy with this. So my final thoughts on a rating then for the Nocturnal by Newcastle, Heineken stroke Newcastle, whatever you want to call it. Hints of raisin in it as well. It is a little bit, it's quite it's a little bit complex, you know, this it's raisiny, it's malty, it's a hint of licorice, it's sweet. Definitely took 4 or 5 of these away, definitely, no doubt. Deserves to be put in a craft beer glass, this drink. For that reason, for all the flavours and everything else I've mentioned, the pleasant surprise, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for the Real Ale Guide. Thanks for watching me. I mean, we all know Heineken is probably Heineken.com, or it's actually customer services at newcastlebrownale.co.uk if you want to get in contact with them. Thanks for watching me. It was a 7 out of 10. Put your comments in the comments box, subscribe if you like, and cheers.